member of our crew today is Danielle McCartan. Danielle, what do you have for us?
Hi, John. Yes, as you said, with a win here tonight, Princeton can clinch the Ivy League title all outright. It'll be, like you said, Courtney Bankhart's 6th in 11 seasons. But that's no sure thing, because last time this team met a month ago, just about a month ago, February 2nd, 2018, Princeton traveled up to Yale, and Yale handed them their first Ivy League loss of the season. Coach Banghart said to me that this is a completely different Princeton team this time around. She pointed to having Kalea Ishmael back as a defensive weapon, and she was not in the lineup last time around due to an ACL injury, but she is here, ready, willing to play tonight. And finally, the one thing about Princeton that they'd like to rectify this time around is the number of turnovers that they had. Banghart was disappointed in the 24 turnovers that Princeton had last time around. They're looking to rectify that tonight, because that played right into Yale's game plan. Over to you, Jonathan.
Thanks very much, Danielle. And that's something that we have noticed. Kalea Ishmael's return to the lineup for the Tigers. Yale by 5 after 1. Let's swing it over to the third member of our crew. Hey, Danielle.
Hey, John, thanks for that. So listen, Princeton's down 5 points here at the start of the second. Last week, they went up to Harvard and they lost there as well. And now the only other Ivy League loss, obviously, like we said, came from Yale. So Princeton's in a little bit of a conundrum here. But I asked Courtney Bankhardt, is there a chip on their shoulder today and this weekend playing? And she told me with a smile, she said, there's always a chip on this team's shoulder, and that's what I love about them. She quickly referenced Leslie Robinson and her competitiveness and her will to win. And she said, with a smile as well, that the only other person that matched her competitiveness and her will to win is herself. That's a winning formula here. Let's kick it over to you guys for the start of quarter 2.
Thanks, Danielle. Let's swing it over to the third member of our crew. Here's Danielle McCartan.
So it's certainly an emotional night here. It's senior night here at Javelin Gymnasium. Will athletic mortality sink in? We're not sure. It's an emotional game. There's been 5 lead changes so far, and one of the players that Courtney Banghart was a little bit concerned about tonight was Leslie Robinson. She's the emotional leader of this team. She's the barometer, the heart and soul of this team. She's got 5 points here tonight. But as far as setting an example, as far as setting the culture of this team, Coach Banghart said this particular senior class has absolutely nailed it. Back to you, John and D.
Thanks very much, Danielle. Tigers by 7 as we enter the 4th quarter on Senior Day here at Javelin Gymnasium. Let's swing it over to Danielle McCartan.
Hey guys, yes, so it is senior night, and you know, in sports sometimes the bench players have an advantage because they get to sit back and kind of watch how the defense is going to play them before actually jumping in or being thrust into action. Usually that's Tia Villegi and Kenya Holland, but tonight they both started, and Kenya Holland is having a career night tonight. But she's been rewarded for her reliability throughout the season, and with all these dynamic offensive players, Coach Banghart said that she steadied the ship through and through this season. And as far as Tia Villegi, Banghart says that her connection with one-on-one, which each and every single player up and down this roster has really exposed her leadership qualities. Banghart said this senior class is so deserving of the title that they're going to win. Over to you, John and D.
Thanks very much, Danielle. And we see a couple of those seniors, Robinson and Villegi, sitting together on the bench. Our own Danielle McCartan is with our player of the game with Kenya Holland.
Kenya, congratulations first off. Hey, it's senior night. Your entire family is here. You're hoisting a trophy. What does that mean for you?
It means a lot. I mean, we haven't won a title since our freshman year, so it's something we've been working for 4 years, and we finally got it again.
Now, you bookended your career. Freshman year, you won it. Senior year, you won it. What does that mean for you? That's so symbolic, I guess.
Yeah, it just shows that we've learned a lot from the leaders that came before us, and we wanted to make sure that we came out this year, and we did it as seniors, and we led our team to the championship.
Now, you've won it outright. You've locked up the first seed in the Ivy League tournament. You're set to meet Yale again. It's really tough always to play a team 3 times in one season in any sport. What have you taken away from this game, looking forward to that game?
We just want to focus on our defensive effort, want to make sure that we're solid on that end, and then we just let that flow into our offense.
Now, speaking of offense, you put up great offensive numbers today. What were you seeing differently than normal?
Just my teammates getting me in the right spots. If the defense was singing off of me, they had me when I was open, and so just shooting and being ready to shoot when I needed to.
All right, so one last thing. The goal was to make it to the NCAA tournament. Everybody I spoke to this season, you're 2 wins away. What does that mean?
It means everything, and it's something that we're used to doing. Is we have a tradition of making it to postseason play for this team, and so we want to make sure that we keep that going.
Awesome. Okay, John and Dee, backing over to you.
Thanks very much,
Awesome.
Danielle.
Thank you so much.
for Danielle, McCartan, and D lineup. This is John Moses saying good evening and thanks for watching the Ivy League Network.